welcome back to BIBSTER'S Repair Shop. Well, these are not tractors. We are here at Thursdays of the 2022 Hot Rod Drag Week. Some pretty cool stuff here. There actually is parts of a tractor here. We're gonna go check that out quick. And there is a pulling truck here somewhere. So we'll find those. We'll check them out. We'll talk to the drivers. We'll have a good time. We'll be back in a little bit.
Yeah, yesterday was definitely a racetrack that favored the big tires, swing cars. Perfect animal today. It is a gorgeous all-concrete surface. It has been sprayed starting last night multiple times. Got touched up again this morning. They got a rotator here, so it's been rotated in. It is La La Land at Cordova, and our first pair of cars is at the starting line right now as we head down that way to Darren Tape and... This will be a personal best for a lot of racers. I can already feel it in the air.
Potential 10-0 and 1149. After this, we will go to a combination of the A and B groups together, and that's where you see everything that is quicker than 999, and honestly, almost everything in the mid, bottom 8 and quicker. Yesterday, coming in today, we had 5
and Mike Turner, that last pair going down. Kyle Bridger and Greg Weigert coming up right now. Not quick enough to make the field on that run of Street Machine Eliminator and likely off the qualifying pace, but maybe setting personal best out here today, which is its own reward. Azim Sheik and Steve Phillips coming up. Phillips, the Formula Firebird in white, 1989 model year third gen car. Azim Sheik, the orange Camaro, 1989.
Folks, now I told you we're at Drag Week, so you know BIBSTER can't go anywhere without seeing a tractor somewhere. And check out this thing, the John Deere tractor. Now Jesse, he used to run a square body Chevy that was painted John Deere green. Now if you guys all know me, you know that even though it's the different shade of green that I'm used to, I'm still a fan of all tractors now. The frame off this thing is actually, well, let's talk about what we're really excited about here. 496 big block Chevy powering this this tractor. Obviously, because of that number right there, that's how you know it. It's been at a few events. 7520 cab. We saw one of those last weekend at that Antique Engine Tractor Show. So tractor cab, S15. So the GMC version of an S10. Ooh, look at that. Frame underneath it. Obviously he's got his mud tires on now because all Drag Week competitors, they have to run racing slicks or racing tires, excuse me, on the track. So the mud tire has been a very popular option on these. But Jesse, he's been running these shows for quite a bit. Comes all the way up from Oklahoma. Taylor's it up to the first stop. Now, Jesse, how'd you get into tractors? Are you a mechanic on them, or?
My dad was with John Deere since 1947.
Oh, wow.
We were actually one of the last dealerships that John Deere owned.
Okay.
Then I started with them in 74, 75.
Okay.
Anyway, and then the dealership got sold. I stayed with the same dealership with an individual till 94. Then left there and went to Colorado Springs, became went to school to be a pastor, and now I'm in Oklahoma.
Nice, nice. Well, that's like hitting all of the Bibster, all the Bibster check marks there.
Yeah, the funny thing about it, when I was trying to figure out, I got a square body, was trying to figure out what color to paint it.
Yeah.
The wife looked at me and I said, I ain't painting that thing green. Next thing you know, my 83 square body is green and yellow, and this is, I wanted to go fast, so built this one, and all the decals, except for this one, except for my new one.
Woohoo! Yeah.
All the decals on this one match
what was on the truck?
more or less what's on the truck and in the same location.
Nice. Yeah, I remember seeing the truck a couple years when you were running years ago.
We were up here.
And I remember being like, oh, because I'm an Oliver guy, and also farm.
Well, it's close to being
it's
green.
close enough. Yeah, it's close enough. We're in the same shade. We're in the same shading.
Yeah.
But I remember seeing it going, I got to do something like that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of.
Well, this was floating around in my mind for about 10 years, and 2019, a bunch of the racing buddies got together and gave me some parts and cash, and helped in, and here it is.
Nice. Well, Jesse, good luck today. We'll see you out there.
Okay.
And good luck on the rest of your trip.
Well, let me. You still going?
Yeah.
You can see everybody's signatures up on the roof. If you can get that.
See if I can. I'm not gonna touch the header because you're just driving. So yeah, all of the.
They all have a part in it. I just get to drive it.
Nice, nice. Well, thanks again, Jesse. We'll see you out there.
All right, thanks.
128. He will be back again. The 60-foot time 300 off. Tiny Bubble, giving Tiny Bubble was performed by Liberace. My God, you're even old enough to know this stuff. 1176.3, 117 for Dan Tynan in the Malibu. Here comes the trucker, Jesse Medafrey, big block Chevy powered, technically 1972 John Deere with Chevrolet chassis and the 15 Caprice having problems. Crazy unable to accelerate, but Medafrey having no trouble at all. Top end of the racetrack, 12:23, 4 miles an hour. An indication of how tight the racetrack is. She literally shook the tires off the starting line out there. We can see the marks. Taylor Hedrick is looking for a balancer puller, a balancer installer, and he needs a car or someone to pick up our parts that were overnighted to the hotel in Bettendorf, Iowa. Taylor Hedrick needs a helping hand, both in tools and ferry service for parts.
All right, watch Stephen Mask on the left-hand side.
Taylor Hedrick, if you need a car to use, cover the tower. If you will. 1192-9120, Ford Buick, 1242-109 for Greg Black. Good to see this Carmen Kia back. I believe yesterday it was looking like it might have had a mechanical issue out there. We have lost some Volkswagens this week. But he's still hanging
find them.
tough.
They're sort of in the bottom of your pocket somewhere, like, you know, that lost penny. All right, here on the left-hand side, I believe.
Up in the air, it's pretty cool.
If you can avert your gaze from the lovely saffron paint on that thing. Look at the finish.
Show the finish.
It was mainstream stuff. Everybody was into it. CB Talk, 10-100, 10-200, you know, very relevant to you and I these days here in the tower.
We actually saw, as we got a couple of cars getting ready to stage up here, we saw 2 truck drivers get into an actual dive.
Oh, that was
highway.
wild.
That was one of the standout moments of Dragweek this year, was 2 truck drivers almost ramming into each other on purpose on the way between Indy and, was it between Indy and Byron?
I never know.
Yeah.
Semi-truck road rage. And then we roll past the one guy and he's got the curtain pulled on his side window so nobody will see him or video him. It was harsh. Andrew Taylor is in
Taylor goes 1091, 123, 1070.
All right, welcome back to the channel. We've been here the whole time. Anyway, We're gonna film that in a second, but first we're gonna check out this monster. Now this thing's actually running the unlimited class because of the lack of some body panels, but as you can see, let's just check this thing out. Still a stock block under there. Twin turbo, 450% over injectors. Wagner billet rods. This thing has been laying down the smoke and laying down some really nice passes so far. I should know how fast it runs. I'll probably show it faster as I'm doing it. But another competitor out of Oklahoma coming up to the drive again. Got the big muddies on it to get around town. Now you see he's got the fun sauce. Probably to help get those big turbos spooled up, is what I'm assuming. Look at this rear end. This is all. I believe it's a fully fabricated chassis, but I could be wrong. I don't think there's anything stock about it left in that regard. But all caged up again. These guys have driven about 1,000 miles, or close to 1,000 miles at this point. They got one more day of driving this afternoon when they're done here. Yeah, we'll show this one run. This thing's pretty impressive. What's your fastest run so far this week?
861.
861. I knew it was up there. I just didn't want to say without. And this is kind of one of the cooler pull behind trailers too. It kind of matches the truck, which is kind of neat. The trailer game around here is pretty awesome. You got everything from your U-Haul wouldn't want to see me doing this trailers to fully custom built pull behind trailers. I saw a small camper somewhere. Some, just everything's piled into the vehicle. All right, we'll get back to it. I gotta check out this other pulling truck.
57.82 and modified.
England and over running its quickest time of the week.
Man, I had a chance to chat just a few minutes ago with the guys from this 1945 Chevy pickup truck. So I said, what does this thing get for mileage when you're cruising it down the highway? He said, well, if we're taking it easy, it gets about 20. If we're not taking it easy, it's about 12, which is still ridiculous.
And the quickest time, Brian, 861.3 at 156 for the wild looking truck.
And he says there's plenty more to go there, but they've been running it in a way that is not placing it in jeopardy of heating itself up.
I disapprove of that.
Well, at least until tomorrow. But it's great. It's a really cool rig, and it's been pulling some really nice wheel stands the last couple days. Obviously diesels and Cummins diesel engines just making incredible amounts of torque.
And the wagon is running an all-motor big block, currently third in class, and his best run thus far has been a 946 naturally aspirated.
Brand little nice just to spool the turbo. Now straight a bunch of nitrous. The Chattanooga Choo-Choo of Robert Berry gets to the end of the racetrack, 877.7. At 152.
So many black primer 55 Chevy gassers here. It's sort of hard to explain, especially when you don't have a glass. This Corvette that was found in the back of a body shop. And does it surprise you that there was a Corvette stuck in a body shop for 30 years? Me, that would be standard operating procedure.
We tend to apart things on cars they don't have, like emotion and soul. But can you imagine the arc of this car's emotion? Oh my God, I'm finally being saved out of the... Wait a second, is that a softball? What are you doing to me?
Jamie Jarvis on the right-hand side in the 55 Chevy. You don't have to throw Virginia.
Cody Helger out of Rhode Island coming up in this car. He won B-Gas last year. It is a 4-speed equipped car. It is outside of the safety bags. Pretty well spot on. That windows like every car.
Again, I talk about the tractor pullers follow me everywhere, and I was just talking with Dominic here about his 91 first gen Dodge for four-wheel drive. This used to be a pulling truck. They've been talking about it on the live stream all week. It used to run like a 2.5, 2.6 class, and then these two happened, and well, there's no longer a 2.5 anymore because there's two of them. So now it's out here running Dragweek. Had a little bit of been battling some stuff. They had some intercooler boots that were blowing yesterday on their passes at Byron, but running about 150 psi, so that's going to put a load on just about everything. Pretty cool rig, running on all 4 flats. Dominic, what's your best pass so far this week?
1030 in a blue boot.
1030 in a blue boot, so this thing will get
630 in the knee.
Well, once again, good morning, Group C. Group C will be the group we fire off today with.
If this thing can lay the power down for all quarter mile today, it's going to be quite an impressive run. And that's where all the EPA violations come out of, and we just love that. So, a few cool diesels and some tractors, we'll say, here at Dragweek 2022. We're going to get up to the racing content, check out a few more trucks. I'll show you a video of this one going right at the end of this, hopefully.
And return 1.48 seconds to 60 feet. And it is compound turbocharged. They were trying to run it with a big single on it, which is kind of a hot ticket that some guys are doing, but they had trouble making that work, so they put the compounds back on it. Dan Dian and Dominic Liberace. His buddy said, just keep calling him Liberace. Okay, we're good with that. Okay, we're going to live with it. That's gone home. That's not Liberace. Look at this thing.
Oh, look at that. You know what? When you run a 205 Dragweek, there's no speed differentiation front and rear. He got into some death wobble there. He did promise me a 9 out of this truck, and he's going to fail on that, as Brian has the last time you see your neighbor.
That's true for us, too. Do I get to count the attrition rate when I leave today?
You can only hope. You can only hope it'll be the last time that you see me. I'll haunt you in your dreams. Yeah, you can't escape it.
Martin Villeneuve from Canada in his 1967 Belvedere. Eric Grillo, the 1972 Chevy. Eric also a street Machine Eliminator.
I have a racer in need. Ben Brown is looking for an oil dipstick tube for a 455.
And for one qualifying show in FS1, you were a part of the booth, you being Pentagon.
Actually, behind the scenes of that racer.
We're out of the world of diesel trucks and pulling tractors, but two of the fastest competitors so far at Dragweek. Tom Bailey's laid down the fastest pass so far the first day. We have been in a battle since then in this car already. And then this nitrogen monster. Cars we've seen this week pitted next to each other. driven. Close to 1,000 miles by the time this week is over. Now he's actually running sprint car tires on the street. They seem to be holding up pretty well. Talking about the custom trailers. Tom Bailey's right here. It's got a matching wrap. If you don't know about Stick the Mag, you gotta check it out. I'm wondering how to spell it. It's written all over the side of his car. So they got the parachutes covered up when they get on the road. Right there. So we'll definitely get a video of this thing going down the track. Hopefully makes a good pass today. We'll bring you back for a little more. We'll find the more wild and weird stuff. That's what we're about. This is on the wild side. We're gonna go look at the weird stuff.
That's what gets you every time. You're confused by that.
A lot of power out of that thing, and he's just going to walk it down to the finish line. Burnout complete for Bailey. As is the case many days on Drag Week, the big high horsepower stuff, first attempts are not always highly successful. Tom Bailey's run at Byron was hair-raising in that the car was moving even late in the run. The car was kind of moving everywhere down course, and Tom did a really nice job of driving it. Tom Bailey, the leader of ET overall, went 6:03.249, the second quickest pass in the history of Drag Week. Did that on Monday. Has not gotten quite back there yet. Not for the lack of trying. Has, over the course of the week so far, replaced a few pistons. Steve Morris, head controller, crew chief, co-driver, with Bailey. The eighth probably gets the shootout. The car got really loose.
Right, there you go. OLBO. Full. No? I can't do it. Anyway, it's been a passenger in that gold station wagon. How'd that go? For a couple of years. Oh, way over to the wall and left.
Push.
Back with the most world's famous Ford Escape. Tell us a little bit about your race rig here.
It's been pretty smooth so far.
Yeah.
Probably top 10 cars fuel economy wise.
Oh, for sure.
Started out as a daily driver for my little sister's her first car, and fortunately she got ran off the road and maybe hit a little off ramp and got some air and hit a street sign. That's what the crease in the front's from. Insurance decided to total this thing by cost of repair because it needed a hood, a bumper, a radiator, and a transpan. We did the $700 buyback, put a $100 radiator in it, and it drove. It's like, well, now what? Do we fix it? It's run Drag Week. So all the interior's gone, all plastic windows in the back. It's actually got a 99 to 04 hood scoop off a Mustang.
Okay.
And it lines up perfect with this factory airbox if you take it off. we basically got our own ram air.
Oh man, that's where you're getting
Perfect. It
That's how you got down to the 14s.
Started off kind of ha-ha, but it's like, hey, wait a minute. If we cut that actually lines up.
So, because everyone's been asking on the internet's been asking about if it's on, if it's getting sprayed, but it's all just the way factory Ford intended it.
I couldn't come up with spray fast enough to make it work this year, but if someone happens to show up with a kid on Friday, I'm not against putting it on.
You heard that right. So you show up with the old laughing gas. We'll see if we can get this in the 13s.
I mean, I did as much as I could. I got the stickies in the front, the skinnies in the back.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah. Because this is just a front wheel drive.
Front wheel.
It's not the all-wheel drive option.
Just stock 3-liter front wheel drive.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I love about Dragweek, because just as awesome it is to see the 6-second cars, you'll see something like this.
Oh, for sure. I was out there cheering on the line. I'm like, yeah, here we go, watching Tom Bailey then, blow the tires off and still run a 6.8. And here I am running 14.8.
But on the internet, it's just as popular. It's like, the Escape's coming up. The Escape's coming up.
I've been watching this stuff for, better part of 10 years, and this is the kind of stuff that I always look forward to, like what do they call it, the trucker?
Yeah, the trucker.
I love that guy, too.
We filmed that earlier, and I do a lot of tractor
Or the
stuff.
Pepsi Joe guy. I mean, I love it. I look for the oddballs. I love it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I fit in.
Was this Plan A this year, or was this
Plan A this year?
Was Plan A?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now it has to come back. This has got to be.
Got to figure something out.
Yeah, something. All right. Well, thanks for talking. We'll see you a little later.
Absolutely.
We'll have a video of it running once this is over.
And the novelty stand is open. If you're here for the first time to Cordova Dragway, it is a great time to grab your track t-shirt. Certainly a great time to grab your Dragweek t-shirt. Dragweek merchandise trailer is open. 1287.5 at 102 miles an hour as the wagon. Goes 16.52.9 at 84.49 miles an hour. David? Kill me. Just when I believe we have reached a new low. Well, it's because I have the whole power in here. The 2009 Ford Escape. Brandon Curtis in the 95 Mustang is going to run it down. He's trying to. Cobb had a reaction time half of that of Brent in the yellow Mustang. And Cobb goes 14.7. So close. He is trying to maintain his position. He is a contender here, but because he's a couple hundredths off.
In that 80 Mustang. You're about to watch an 8-second all-motor big block Mustang. Big block. He gets off with a 1:30.60 foot time. He's going to make it to the 8th mile with 128 miles an hour. There you go.
Channel, we are here with Pepsi Joe and his pretty awesome Volkswagen Bug. Now, if you guys are Volkswagen fans, you know that normally up here is a spare tire, and well, for you engine knowledge people, this is not a spare tire. It's a 385 small block Chevy. And what he did, he said he's owned this thing about 10 years and decided he doesn't see the gasser Volkswagen, so with the gasser Volkswagen, put the straight axle underneath it, fabricated a chassis that the pans bolted to for the Volkswagen, gave it all the old vintage style accoutrement, and he's running 1170s. So we'll show a video of this thing running. One of the more unique cars out here at Dragweek. That's what's cool about this event. We're sitting here next to 2-lane blacktop style 55 panel wagon, a Beretta, and obviously the Escape over there. So we'll show up video.
That's such a class. That 54 Chevy just started out. You think about like the Packards of the era, like late 40s, early 50s cars like Packards. All the bigger stuff all had that same kind of shape.
That thing would have been factory powered with a stove bolt, and I could talk about my pet peeve on stove bolts as soon as this shit goes down.
72, high riding stance. Cool to see the two gassers side by side. 1164 4113 is Levens, goes 1226-2. Always love to watch this car run. Very rarely do we see him have a day like he had yesterday. See a 315 drag radio on the back of this car, and he is going to try to apply as much of that power early as he can.
And watch this car leave.
This is the biggest wheelie he's done all week, and he did it twice now, maybe 3 or 4 times. Taking the porpoising his way down the racetrack to 112 in the 8th. And everything. And Campbell goes high.
Which is Pro Street naturally aspirated.
All right, back with more of the unique vehicles. Now this, from this angle right here, this just looks like a police interceptor Charger. You know, there's a ton of those out there. So you're looking along and you're like, oh, there's a different door. That's fine. There's a, what is this? The ultimate mullet. The Dodge Charger Ute. It's actually a company called Smith that makes this kit, powered by 5.7 Hemi. I do believe from listening to the things that this is one of the first ones. But this thing is all sorts of cool. Got the Tama cover on it. Been running all week. But yeah, so you don't just have to have a Ram truck to have a Hemi with a pickup bed on it. There's the driver's info on that. All the way out of California with this piece. So yeah, another one of the more unique pieces here at Dragweek. Again, stuff you do not see every day. Drag racing escapes, Dodge Charger Utes, S10s with big motors that leak together all the time. And this is from the D-Run group, which is the slowest running group, but has the most unique vehicles.
Initially assembled this Charger Ute. It all comes back to me, Ryan.
Apparently it does.
Yeah, it's 7 degrees.
Nick Latomsky goes 13-31-0-107 in the Camaro right now. High riding 1962 Chevy 2 with a clone 427. Chris Vanderwalker, the 2021 Charger Hellcat.
Left-hand lane, which I might add is precisely the color.
You say Reese's, I say Reese's. We talked about this. His name is Reese.
Your opinion is wrong on the Reese's. That's pronounced Reese's. Let's have a poll once again on the live feed. You say
Oh man, Chuck Jordan. And that twin is a Honda S2000 with a turbocharged LS motor. He is going to try to run 850 as he is running in the street race small block power adder category. And Glenn Bridger running in the Pro Street NA class in that red 68 Camaro. Looking sporty for Flint, 136.60 one time, and the S2000 was 850. John Puckett. There is nobody that hates a clutch like John Puckett. What would you say?
L here at Dragweek.
That people forget about. Remember the McLaren turbocharged Pontiac? No. Yeah, you could get and they built turbocharged McLaren doors, but they were turbocharged versions of like the Grand Prix and the Grand Prix, maybe it's not a Grand Prix. It didn't kill the motor. That's what it's been doing. He was able to slide the clutch enough, and it was on. That was fantastic. 939.9. Decals on the side. Jeremy Howell slowly. Logan Tarrant coming up the 1978 Chevy Caprice with the artistically modified rear quarter panel.
It's hard to get the shark bite like that here in Illinois or wherever we are. I always lose track of where we are.
And Jim Kurzak, the B5 Blue 2019 Charger. So it's down on compression, getting wider, much like you.
Not quite. SRT, all of the above. And the Power Tour Patrol, the 68 Dodge Coronet loaded with a Hellcat and an unusual stance. Jonathan Coster on the right-hand side in the blue Nova. That was a hot thing. Happened right here at Cordova. I think there were some of those.
I think there were some with it. I think
the vast factory during small tire shootouts.
I feel like Bowling Green was also a place.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Matt Soderbergh, the 1954 Chevy 210.
I got him. Finally. My moment, but it was good. Bryant Spring on the right-hand side in the 2000 Lincoln Town Car. Reminds me of when I go to...
Actually, you know what? You're more of a Roy Orbison. I think that's the move. Roy Orbison. Combine your singing prowess. Marty Pixler, 55 Chevy.
I will advise you momentarily.
The J-Series trucks were back in the day, but I don't think it was a J-Series truck, right?
No, it's not a J-Series, but I'm saying like a modern Jeep is a JK or
You're
a
right.
JL. An XJ is a Cherokee. This is an